All we have to do to be a global citizen, all we have to do to find the fuel that's going to really take our business to the next level, that's more importantly going to help our family, our community, and the world, is take the needs of the person sitting right next to us and place them on an equal to or greater pedestal than our own. Please help me welcome to the stage the 8th Secretary General of the United Nations, Mr. Ban Ki-moon. Sorry about that. I have telekinetic powers.
I'm Chris Bashinelli. I help organizations ignore the noise, step outside of their comfort zones, and understand what it means to be a global citizen.
Oh, man! Being a global citizen means being a productive citizen of the world. It means connecting with your passion and using that passion to serve others. You do this every day of the week? Oui.
I've spoken around the world, from Fortune 500 companies like BMW to TEDx to entrepreneur groups in Saudi Arabia, and I've shared the stage with Stevie Wonder and Dr. Jane Goodall.
Thank you so much for being here with me.
It's fun being here with you.
Service is not the byproduct of success. It is the starting point.
By taking audiences on an interactive international adventure, we can improve our cultural understanding, transform service into productivity, and unleash our full potential.
No, 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 no.
No, no.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
I traveled to Mongolia to live as a nomad for National Geographic.
Yeah, baby.
I just want you to know that I love you. I just gotta take off my blazer. But isn't that funny and also scary that that's how far we have to go away from what our core is telling us before we finally wake up? What's your name?
Brian.
Brian, I'm Chris.
Did you enjoy it?
Yeah, I like it.
This guy is the most inspiring young man you would ever work with. Chris has a way of understanding very complex issues, of synthesizing them into simple language, and he can engage a room like nobody I know.
You're standing over here and you're thinking, gosh, how can I reach Forrest Whitaker? There's no possible way. He's surrounded. And you have all these groupies and they're not leaving him alone. And you think, you know what, I have to do something. I have to. You run up to him. You move the groupies out of the way. You grab his arm and you say, Forrest, I'm gonna get you out of here. And he looks at you like, why is this little kid touching me? Mr. Douglas, I used to be an actor. Hi. You may have seen me in The Sopranos. Today, let's look at the United Nations as a stoop in Brooklyn.
I'm really pleased to be here sharing this stoop with you.
Where's the place in your community, in your workplace, where you can gather, have an open dialogue, not be judged, and work out solutions to problems? Those are my friends that I grew up with. We shared 13 nationalities. Russian, Irish, Italian, Puerto Rican, Korean, Muslim, Jewish, Filipino, Puerto Rican, Lebanese, Greek, American. We all grew up on the same block. We all hung out on the same 5-foot wide stoop. It was a place where we could come together to talk about whatever we wanted. We knew we weren't going to get bothered by our parents or our teachers or our girlfriends, because we never had any. It wasn't all peaceful, right? We were young kids. We had fights. We got mad at each other. We dug at each other. But it was a place where we built relationships across seeming cultural divides. Listening, deep listening, not the listening that we normally do, right? Which is our friend, our client, or someone calls us and they have a problem, and we listen for about 5 seconds, and then we're about to jump in with the answer. And we might pretend like we're listening, but really what we're doing is we're biting our tongue, because we've already figured out in our head what's best for them. That's not listening. Deep listening, where we really listen to our friend or our client's needs. I never learned a thing when I was talking. A stoop is a place where you can come together with people that you may or may not know, work out solutions to problems, and build relationships. Global citizenship, diversity from an everyday, realistic, practical perspective means taking that mindset of the stoop into your heart wherever you go, so that it affects the way that you live and interact with people and empowers them to become the person they have the potential to be. What you're gonna do is you're gonna close your eyes, and I just want you to take 3 deep breaths into that option on my count, and notice how you feel in your gut. And you're gonna look for one thing. You're gonna notice if you are feeling a sense of relief or discomfort. What do you feel when you imagine yourself living through that scenario? Raise your hand if you are at least a little more clear as to which way to go. Open your eyes, look around the room. See how many people have their hands up. More than half of the room with 30 seconds of ignoring the noise. We already have all the answers. All we have to do is uncover them. We have 3 decision makers in our body. 3. We already have them. We don't need to do anything. They already exist. Our first decision maker is our head. And our head is very logical. It's what makes sense. It's what we can write down on a piece of paper. Have you ever had to make a tough decision and you made a list of pros and cons and it didn't work? Almost never works because we're operating from up here. Our other decision maker is our heart. And our heart can be, well, gosh, it can be very emotional and it can just long for things. And then I start listening to Taylor Swift and it's just not a good day. Our other decision maker is anyone point to it? It's our gut. Because the gut taps into the subconscious mind. So it's crucial to tap into that in any decision. To be a global citizen, we have to ignore the noise. And as I've traveled the world, I've noticed there's one theme that brings together every social entrepreneur, every activist that's doing good work in the world, everyone that's contributing, everyone that's a global citizen. What do they all have in common is that they step outside of themselves. They live for others. So to be a global citizen, that's all we have to do. We don't need to move to Africa. We don't need to join the Peace Corps. We don't need to raise $1 million for a nonprofit organization. All we have to do to be a global citizen is take the needs of the person sitting right next to us and place them on an equal to or greater pedestal than our own. And our responsibility today is to connect with the value of the service that we offer. What you offer people are experiences that will last a lifetime, and that is priceless. Service is not the byproduct of success, it is the starting point. Now you can do something crazy. We're gonna take the needs of the person sitting next to us and we're gonna place them on a greater pedestal than our own. But what happened to our left hand? Oh no, what happened to ourselves? I forgot about it. Where is it? Is it dead? Is it on the ground? Is it falling? No, it's up in the air too. Because when you look out for others, the entire world looks out for you. And that's all you have to do to be a global citizen. Thank you so much.
This felt like the greatest thing in the entire world.
Phenomenal. Chris is a difference maker.
And I just love it.
27 years old, ladies and gentlemen. 27 years old. Why don't you come back and see us, Chris, when you're 35, when you got something to say, man?